1, and finally, last week, were able to take down a team in a 2-0. But that's not the kind of ratio we're used to seeing from CE. You can see for yourself that they have lost repeatedly, whereas SPT, they started off a little shaky, going 1-1 versus KT and 1-1 versus the 1. After that, though, 2-0 A team, as you can see there, 2-0 Nut, 2-0 RPG. They are some of the lower level teams, though, but it's still a momentum-based thing.
Well, I mean, after witnessing Team Nut today, I wouldn't even call them a lower level team anymore. Team Nut, taking them down 2-0 is definitely quite the feat. Even for SPT, who haven't really had their major power spike yet in Tetcher. It is going to be Dragonshire, and SPT chose that battleground willingly. And for those of you who've been watching HGC China for a longer period of time, you guys know how good SPT look on that battleground. It's by far their home turf. For the major part of 2017, early 2018, they were left undefeated on this battleground, and it was not uncommon for enemy teams to ban this battleground right off the get-go.
This has not, however, been the case this season, where
True.
they at least lost on Battlefield of Eternity, their old stomping ground. I do believe they did. They haven't actually played Dragonshire that much, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so they beat Team Nut on it, and RPG on it. Okay, so yes, currently this season, SPT does have a 100% win rate on Dragonshire.
Okay. Now, the Genji getting denied from Melody C. He could always be quite the menace on that hero, but by the same token, they also deny the hero to Alufal, who has yet to play a single Genji game, I believe, in this phase. He's been normally...
So keeps getting banned.
Yeah, it's crazy. So he's usually stuck on heroes like Jaina these days, doesn't even get to play Tracer all that much. Tracer actually hardly sees any play right now, especially in China. The hero was nerfed and changed a couple of times, and I think a lot of pro players at this point aren't really sure of what the hero can still do. But look at the respect ban nonetheless.
Tracer still being banned. We'll see banning Genji, though. Once again, we're seeing a similar situation of Alufal getting his heroes denied.
Yeah. Now he played
and
a little
also,
bit of Phoenix.
your feeling was correct. CE have, in fact, not played a single Genji game this season.
Which is pretty crazy if you think about it. Now the ERL comes in for KTY, most likely, and I like that move already. Now, who's going to be that lane bully? That solo laner that can maybe hold their own against the ERL? The Phoenix seemed to work out pretty nicely in Praxis.
Yep, Phoenix is pretty lovely. So now, SPT, what do you have for us, friends?
So up here, we see the man on the webcam right now. He's going to be that solo laner, most likely. So what is he going to pick for us? Soap actually has been showing up so strong as of late. Like, I always used to be that kind of person who was like, yeah, Soap, you know, he still has to convince me. He still needs to show me those games that make me say, wow, this guy has what it takes. But over the last few days and weeks, I think he really stepped it up, and you can really see him being a very vocal player. I think he might actually be the in-game shot caller for the most part. And the Phoenix is locked in.
Phoenix does get locked in with a Muradin, no Diablo, which is a little bit less usual, especially seeing as actually Misaka lent on that Diablo a fair amount in the first in the first few days.
Yeah.
But he started moving towards Muradin further in as we went, and then they started winning.
Then they started winning 365 on the CE, giving us a little light show here on the Christmas Malfurion of the Winter Veil Malfurion skin. Jaina gets banned immediately, so they're tackling Alufal's hero pool even more. He's probably going to play that Hanzo because, quite honestly, I didn't like Zhuyi on that hero the last times we saw him. He had a pretty crazy feeding spree, so it's probably going to be Alufal on that hero, but what is left for Zhuyu? He's a great Junkrat.
He is a great Junkrat. So seeing that come out could be what they want here. Other options... It depends on the assassin. It depends on the tank lineup for SPT. Not sure. They need someone to hold bot, which they already have two of. They could hammer.
They could go for the hammer, but the best hammer support already has been banned by CE because they may have smelled something along those lines, something fishy as well. Or they're just going to pick something like Malfurion to pull it off. No, Malfurion is already picked away by CE, so forget about that. Oh, Rhaegar. We haven't seen any Rhaegar in China.
Not yet.
Which baffles me.
Quite unusual, yeah. It baffles me too, friend. Very confused here. So SPT, Malfurion is already taken away, so I would like to see SPT bring out the Rhaegar. We know it's a classic of theirs.
Yeah.
It adds extra slows for the Phoenix if they actually want to do that.
And CCH has been such a good Rhaegar. He feels probably more comfortable on that hero, on that support hero, than on any other right now. So there it is! Tetcher, we did our job!
Rhaegar.
Virtual high five, let's go.
There.
There we go. Loving it.
Even not on cam. No one saw it, so we nailed it, and no one's going to know otherwise. But yeah, the Rhaegar returning, and the fact is, the two frontliners are great heroes for Rhaegar. The Haka actually being able to pass through other heroes is a great deal for a Lightning Shield build if they wanted to do it. And if not, well, Muradin will get the job done as is.
That he will do. So now what's left for them is, of course, another assassin. There's not a whole lot of assassins left available for Chinese standards. They like their Jaina. That's banned. Hans has already been picked away. And I'm pretty sure C is going to pick yet another assassin. So maybe that's going to be the Greymane for Zhuyu. He played a lot of that hero.
Yeah, he's played 36 games. It's going to be Falstad coming
and the
in
Stitches
here.
again.
And the Stitches. The return of Wind Stitches.
Wow.
And this time they have locked it. They have follow-up. Hooray! Malfurion roots. How wonderful.
That's amazing.
Wait,
to be honest,
is this a Gorge Gust?
This could be a Gorge Gust right there, my friend. I think this is actually amazing. Like, there was only one Stitches that could actually rival C's accuracy, and we saw that in the last game, what he was able to pull off, and that is Wind. He doesn't play the hero often, right? We mentioned this many times last year, for example. But when he plays it, he makes that hero look so impactful and so strong. And already, if you look at the faces here from SPT, they're pretty serious, pretty stern. They don't take this lightly. They know how good of a Stitches Wind can be. And as you said, with that potential Gust play, could be so lethal.
I would like to see a pool party 1v1 between Wind and JPL. That seems like it would be quite fun. For now, though, SPT, final pick, another assassin needed for them as well. Percentage damage is useful, but they're not going for any of it. No percentage damage. Roll, getting some poke potential to try and deal with Yrel.
Yeah, wait a minute. So the Soul Laner's already been deployed with the Haka, so this could either be another Crash Lightning Thrall, or this could be a rotation Echo of the Elements Thrall that tries to gank people every now and then.
Possibly. Or they just want, maybe it's Dahaka they want in the rotation. The extra movement speed through that middle Bermuda Triangle style area.
I mean, there's many ways you can play this out. I'm not feeling the Thrall, though. I expected something... I don't know. I expected a Mage, for example, or something that had a little more... I guess Thrall is kind of nice against the Stitches, though, right? Because you can always Sunder, for example, or you can Earthquake when someone ends up getting gorged. So that's certainly a nice tool to keep Stitches frozen in place for a few moments to help that target escape.
Can see it. Oh, I think I just worked out what they're doing. I think it's a Bloodlust build.
Ooh, we've seen many tempting Bloodlust combos in the past, but then again, the Rhaegar players weren't brave enough to do it. What do you think, chat? What do you think, the viewers out there? Are we going to see the return of a Bloodlust Rhaegar with the nerfs to Ancestral Healing? It is not out of the realm of possibility here as we dive into Dragonshire for the game one. And we're going to take a look at the rosters once again. SPT, the super perfect team with Lucky on that Phoenix. Melody C on Thrall. Misaka is playing the Muradin. Soap is on that Dehaka, and CZH is playing Rhaegar.
And on the right-hand side, hungry for more wins, it is Alufal on Hanzo, Wind on Stitches, 365 on Malfurion, KTY on the Yrel, and Zhuyu Yar is playing the Falstad in pirate mode. They are CE, and they are here for your wins.
That sounded really good. By the way,
thank you.
Oh, there we go. The root immediately deployed after the hook, and Misaka already shown who's boss. If it had been any other target other than Muradin, that would have been first blood right there.
And the emote spam was too real as we see the teams beginning to rotate through the lanes. Yrel rotating up against Dahaka, who is going to be so later, as Thrall has a very miserable time and becomes first blood.
Yep, and there we go. By the way, no Crash Lightning, so he's going for the good old Echoes of the Elements builds. Just not as a main soul laner, but still probably going to be able to stack that up very quickly. And already 2 hooks, 2 catches. And that is CE's win for you.
Yep. 2 hooks, 2 hits, 1 kill, 1 escapee. But you got to put some back, otherwise you're going to depopulate the ocean. As we see KTY putting some pressure onto Soap here with a quick knockback.
Yeah, running dangerously low on mana though, which is quite uncommon for Irel, so that tells you that KTY has been spamming those abilities pretty heavily. There goes the barrel roll, not really in the most unpredictable of everything. The heals are huge from Malfurion. Everybody's comping up on the side of SPT, and they save him, Tetcher.
He is alive! Zuyu grabs the fountain and returns to his team. A beautiful Moonfire heal once again from 365, keeping Zuyu alive.
That's basically as close as it gets. And all of a sudden, this rather predictable barrel roll made a lot more sense, because if you imagine him barrel rolling to the left or to the bottom, trying to juke and escape, he would have been too far away from Malfurion, but the way they played it, you could already hear the communications, right? Malfurion is like, I'm almost there, fly to me, and then he got the massive Moonfire off. So beautiful escape. These tiny little details can sometimes, you know, make a big difference.
Modin takes a nice little dwarf toss away, doesn't want to get himself caught out. Looks like CE very happy to play this slow and just pick up kills, keep the push going. No intention, no showing that they actually want to get a Dragon Knight, other than the fact Yrel is just straight up winning top lane now. Trying to force Dahaka off the point, forcing a Phoenix to rotate up to her.
And if you need to send someone into your solo lane to help the Dahaka, for example, if you send 3 people in there, actually juke.
Nothing! You get nothing on KTY. He's out of there. 3 people ganking the melee solo laner. You make me laugh.
Absolutely amazing. That bought so much time for the remaining team members of CE to take down the entire tower line. KTY, an absolute boss player.
He's still alive. They sent 3 people up again to try and kill him, and they failed. Sidge is, by the way, hungry for more, but also Slam. Interesting combo, which means he might be going for the Gorge, but going for the slows as well, because you can get movement speed if you finish your level 1 talent, which might be the reasoning here. If not, then extra movement speed with Putrid Buyout is still pretty reasonable. I guess he just doesn't care about the immediate burst damage, but the damage over time, perhaps?
Yeah, I think so too. If you look at the team comp of SPT, it's not very bursty, is it? Phoenix needs a little bit of time to ramp up damage, so does Thrall. So I think he's going to be fine with those talent selections. Now here comes Juyu on the Falstad, rotating down slowly but surely. Not sure if they should be focusing on the Stitches too much here.
Yeah, I mean, the least you can say about this level 4 talent for Stitch is it does have a little bit of wave clear. It's a tiny little bit of poison damage. Double channel coming in for SPT. No one is even close to the mid lane. Yrel is once again outnumbered, misses the Avenging Wrath. Actually, this might be KTY's death. Gets the heal, never mind, walks to freedom, and as such, reinforcements have arrived. In the meantime, Falstad is alone, trying to delay mid. Can they do it? Yrel channeling? Denied. Dragon Knight goes over to SPT.
And that is once again a little bit of sloppy communication there by CE, because as we said earlier during the broadcast today, the channel time on those shrines takes longer than the channel time on the Dragon Knight, so you need to make sure to have a good lead in that regard. That they did not, and as such, the result is that SPT is going to walk away with that first Dragon Knight, but already it's taking so much damage with the combined effort of Hanzo and Juyu on the Falstad. So they're going to get 1 or 2 towers, but look at the soaking that CE has been able to do. Almost an entire level lead already, simply by getting a couple of kills early with Stitches and having superior rotations.
Luful trying to ping Dragon Knight, hook, root, and Misaka dwarf tosses away. Luful is now down here, might be able to get the kill with the scatter arrow. Explosive arrows, miss, scatter arrow.
Oh, Melody
C! He tagged them all. What a play.
The prediction skills so well played there. Those are the decisions why we label Melody C one of the strongest players in the league. The anticipation there is so good. I'm not even sure if it was enough damage in the first place with 1 scatter arrow, especially since simple geometry was not been completed yet.
I'm glad they didn't take the risk to find out.
Exactly, there's no need to take the risk, right?
Oh man, what a play. Easy barrel roll, there's no gate here. Sorry, there's no wall, there's no towers here. There is a gate, that is all that is left. as the pressure is applied. Good interrupt on the teleport, and Lucky goes down. But in the meantime, lots of pressure onto the backline. Actually, this pressure is not working out at all. Drag is cleansed out as they continue to push forward, and Soap will dodge the hook. Is the knockback available for Yrel? Not with that Stormbolt landing, and Soap finally dies to the lightning rod. But that was a lot of abilities burned.
Yep, and looks like so far up to this point in time, my prediction of SPT having an easy peasy 2-0 of their opponents of CE is dead wrong. Look at those gangs, they're not done just yet. Here comes Wind with the hook, too late. The escape from Misaka, too immobile, the dwarf, when he doesn't have the dwarf toss anymore. So yet another kill. We told you guys about how deadly the Stitches can be when played by an absolute monster like Wind. And up to this point, has he actually missed a single hook in this game? Yeah, probably a couple, but...
I think the one that Dahaka borrowed.
Yeah, true, actually, yeah.
Also,
Gorge?
You know what else we told you about? Gorge Gust. The isolation combo. Also, Falstad flying down.
Blind hook in the bush?
Ready for it. Blind hook. No longer blind, but as such, the doggo runs away. Rhaegar having none of that. No thank you, sir. Maybe later, as CE able to take down the bottom fort.
They take down the bottom fort quite easily thanks to their level 10 advantage. KTY is trying to get himself into trouble here. The Ardent Defender is ready and it gets popped immediately.
Gorge, Gust, Rhaegar. It spits him out the wrong way. Bloodlust! They're trying to turn it around, moving it immediately. Thrall immediately turns up to Yrel, who gets absolutely deleted. Zuyu gets rooted, and Thrall is shredding through the members. Zuyu's down too. Wind gets body block wrecked. And it's a triple kill for SPT.
Oh my goodness, the Bloodlust sound effects. It brings so many good memories back to my mind, especially when you rock that Mecha Rhaegar skin. Absolutely amazing to see this turnaround going. We're going to take another look at that. Now look at Yrel overextending, overestimating her own tankiness. And here are the bloodlusted members of SPT, Thrall, Muradin. They're going to take down the bird. They're going to body block Wind on the Stitches and make it a clean triple.
Wow. Someone just pressed the fast forward button on this game because we are suddenly into it as a Dragonite will take down the second fort of the game. This will even up the fort count temporarily. Zuyu will get absolutely wrecked by this rotation to the top lane. And SPT have literally just hit the fast forward button on their play and are just starting to pick apart CE here.
Yeah, I think... You nailed it, right? In a couple of minutes, they basically got as many kills as CE got in the entire game. So 4 kills to 4 right now, the current score. And SPT is now angry. They have woken up. They now have the tools to fight on even talents as well. It's going to be absolutely amazing to see future team fights now with tools like the Bloodlust. It's already ready off cooldown again. So, and you called it, Tetra. The Prophet, by the way. So many auto attackers. The slows, of course, from the Earthquake. The perfect tool to keep the enemies slowed down and in place.
Everything works. They get the bonus movement speed while their opponents are slowed. There's no escape. They have all decent auto attack stuff, including Dahaka with that cooldown reduction on his stuff and the potential to take increased auto attack damage with Essence at a later level, which I think he might have just gone for. I don't really remember what that talent's called. But there's so many options. It was really a clutch play.
And you could really see how SPT, with that composition they drafted, is also out-mind gaming their opponents right now. Because how wants CE to initiate a team fight, right? They hook someone and they gorge. And what follows then is the Gust to blow everyone else away. But by forcing out the Gust early, it can't be used to get rid of the Bloodlust anymore, right? They just pop the Bloodlust and turn things around with no defensive disengage tools anymore. And they turn on the heat. As long as they make sure that the gorge target survives. That's the most important thing.
By the way, it is what we ended up thinking. It is the level 13 Primal Rage for Dahaka. Even more attack damage, so he is all in on this style here. Yrel needs to be very careful. She might get punished if she's not careful there.
Here goes an engage.
Push forward, Valkyrian has to use Ice Block. Gust is a disengage here. In comes the Purification Salvo with the slow on Earthquake. Bloodlust as the follow-up. Soap's the only one on it. He immediately gets gorged as Yrel will die here, but Dahaka will get killed in exchange here unless he sustains through. Nope. Hook denied. Oh, hi, Muradin. They kill the sidewall, and Muradin tags the shots, giving Dahaka a chance to leave, and Muradin dies in his place.
He dies in his place. The isolation goes through him to Stitches. He can't really see where he's going right now. Just throwing it in for good measure. Could have landed almost. It did. So a 1-1 exchange after every single heroic ability had been blown into this team fight. Now look at Stitches. He tried to go for the quest completion. The roots are good. The heals are better. He's going to keep himself alive for now. But SPT is not done yet. Should they continue this chase? Looks like they will and get the kill.
Stitches has been having a very miserable time with these body blocks. Even with that extra movement speed he now has, thanks to Hungry for More, he gets caught again. Lupul crosses easy H of it. Yep. Get out of here, friend.
Get out of here, indeed. So the Gus is ready. They do have a global as well with the fall stat. Actually chasing down Node as he needs to play carefully, though. Jib baited, but still gets away with it.
Yep, he lives, but nice little move there by Dahaka, immediately punishing.
Yeah.
As level 15 is about to be available for both teams. SPT still have a slight XP lead, looking to make it more. So they move in immediate Nature's Cleanse for Malfurion, who is able to keep himself out of danger.
Yeah, good stuff coming in here. Good synergy between 365 and Luful. Now Misaka, of course, benefiting greatly from the Earth Shield coming in from the Rhaegar, thanks to his large HP pool. Stitches, Merge is going to be a hard target to kill. Hook coming through, but no fishing hook. I'm not even sure if we're going to see the fishing hook.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's gone for all slam towns up to this point.
I mean, fishing hook would definitely give them a better isolation comp.
But I think they want to teamfight more against the Bloodlust, right? So needs to be slow
because
to
there's
keep them at
one
bay.
thing you want to do against Bloodlust is run into it.
Exactly.
I honestly think, yeah, I think they should fishing hook. I just don't think they will.
All right.
Wow, are they done with Season Marksman?
Wow. I think he might be done with it, yeah.
That's pretty quick. Good job. I mean, it's the second fastest we've seen so far.
TTY's jumping in.
By Lucky. He's looking for it. He's a little far forward. Has to drop the Ardent Defender very early. Gets isolated, and he's dead.
See, Tetra, that was just unlucky timing. Like, if it works out, Irel jumps in at the nick of time, and she's going to hold this camp for a long period of time because of the Ardent Defender. Then Merding could have maybe done more, but Stitches might be the next one to fall. Good gust.
Gorged. He's gorged Thrall. He's in keep range. The fort range, little bit of damage. Bloodlust for movement speed. Melisi escapes. The salvo, though, not even close to enough damage.
Sometimes the defensive Bloodlust are the best ones, and if it saves your Thrall, then you're definitely going to have to use it. It's not really that long of a cooldown anyways these days. It was buffed multiple times. Remember back in the days in the alpha beta, it was a 120-second cooldown. It was just bonkers crazy. But now as it is, good save by both teams, actually well played. The Mighty Gust was absolutely golden and almost worked out in their favor. Trying to hook the Murden again. The roots are real. The slows are good.
Murden too tanky though, as the mercenary camp is taken. Meantime, Dahaka snuck top and was able to recapture that, preventing once again CE from sneaking any kind of Dragon Knight shenanigans. They're slowly beginning to rotate up though.
Tetra, I feel like at this point, the longer the game goes on Dragonshire here, the more we're moving in towards this point of the next mistake is probably going to give them a Dragon Knight and maybe even a keep, because the Dragon Knight is going to scale even harder. Both teams actually have significant damage output against structures, right? If they want to push Thrall, Phoenix on the one side, then we see Falster with Season Marksman and Hanzo on the other side. So both shrines now channeled, and SPT is trying to set up a trap.
They deny the objective. No fishing hook, by the way. Once again, it is a slam build. Just minus the initial slam damage, which is fine. A little bit of extra health is nice. They get Soap. Psyche is not the gorge target they are looking for.
Man, another blind hook by Wind. He didn't have vision on that shrine. That was so well played. Of course, that a little bit of a panic reaction there from SPT. And as such, both teams still share control over the shrines 1-1. This is now basically a stalling game, a rotations game. And I feel like CE is probably going to be very happy with that, because in those rotations, there might always be that one hook that could turn things around and secure yourselves a Dragon Knight.
So SPT using this time to try and grab bottom fort. There's a lot of minions here. Yorel is still top, delaying. Misaka sees this coming, so he knows, and his team knows that it's time to leave. Hook is available, though. Are they going to try and get Misaka?
No, I think they had a blind hook already, and they tried to get him. That's why it's not ready at the moment, but it should be back soon.
Okay, DK denied, as Yorel was not willing to risk moving up top lane, moving in on just a Haka top lane. Instead, stays near her team in case she is required.
Stays there. Now the Haka, they have vision on him. CE that is, so they know that in fact Dahaka is still clearing the Mercs and Falstad is using his flight there.
Global.
If Soap doesn't take care of this shrine,
They can try this.
they're not gonna. I think they're gonna have enough what it takes. If Stitches now stalls it out,
Try Dahaka's coming in.
it.
Dahaka's coming in. They need to delay Dahaka. If no, oh, the last second. Luful is dropping low in the background. Uses the wall. Gets stunned though, and targeting is great. Falstad, not here. Here comes the Bloodlust. Gus trying to separate them out as Win is forced backwards. KTY is just trying to buy time for his team at this point. Falstad tries to sneak the Dragon Knight in the backline. He is going to escape, but he does not get the Dragon Knight, and KTY goes down.
that was so unfortunate for Zhui there, Tetcher. Falstad tried to get a sneaky Dragon Knight channel in, but the ranged minion, the Archer minion, once again denied and didn't have any of it. And as such, his teammates, they died completely in vain, unfortunately. 16, of course, means a pretty good power spike for both teams. Now we see Soap circumvented, surrounded by 3 enemy heroes. He can't make it out alive. Is he going to buy enough time for Zhuyu to maybe get killed?
They're trying to get onto Soap. He's dropping low. Falstad doesn't make it over the wall. Soap is sneaking away. He's never mind. Moonfire gets the kill, but now Zhu is in serious danger and serious danger of death, which is soon to await him. Gorge is off cooldown here. Mafurion will go down, but Stitches is just going to kill Rhaegar here. Actually, no, it's no wall. Yeah, take him up, take him up. That's good. In comes Muradin, tanking all the tower shots. Misaka, the angel of life, the cleanses there. There's the shield, and Misaka gets out. What a god.
What a play there indeed. He jumped into the breach to save his buddy Rhaegar. He almost died for it because Wind landed another hook, but then came level 20, and then came the immediate hardened shield to save his life there. And they also get the Dragon Knight. A miraculous play almost by SPT. And now with Stormtier Talons at hand, with 2 people still being dead for CE and the Dragon Knight reinforcing their push, I think they can consider maybe going for the bottom keep. But it's Rhaegar in it. Don't forget about that. We know what happened when the support occupies the Dragon Knight from last series.
This time I really do like it, though. You can't get hooked or gorged if you're in the Dragon Knight. So I really do like it this time, as we see the Dragon Knight pushing in. There goes the wall to the side as well. Falstad actually gets rooted, dodges the stun, though, stays alive. So you eating a lot of hits here. Yeah. And this will likely be the keep going down. It's a huge amount of focus. Stitches is miles away after getting punted. This is likely going to be a minimum the keep. The question is, can they get anything more?
Can they get anything more?
In. Stitch is dead. Oh my god, that was a lot of damage. As we see the isolation landing on Yrel as well. Dragon Knight's about to expire, but with a 5v4, they might try and end.
They're trying to end here. KTY use the Ardent Defender. They're going to have to try and stay alive. Is Gus still there? No, it's not. The core is melting like butter, Tetcher. Are they going to be able to do it?
Bloodlust value, Bloodlust value, and the core is no longer butter, it is absolutely milk, as they are able to take it down, and game number 1 goes over to SPT.
SPT with a clean Bloodlust execution. They're countering the isolating playstyle of CE. They were trying to go for those Hook, Gorge, Gus plays, but so many times was SPT able to strike back with the raw might of the Bloodlust Warcry. And I gotta give it to him. I thought CE was actually able to, you know, walk away with this lead. They played it so well in the early game. Win Stitches, something to be feared, that's for sure. But you know what? What's even more terrifying? CZH's Rhaegar. Absolutely amazing the way he played.
I will say that although the Misaka save was excellent, it shouldn't have had to happen because ZZH went a bit too far forward against the Stitches. But otherwise, that was really good. Cleanse was on point, Heal was on point. But yeah, really solid.
Really solid. And you got to give it to them. I mean, they are known to be the kings of Dragonshire in China for a reason.